Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're playing dinos. So, I know you guys love dinos, but this one is actually a little different than the decks you might see otherwise. A lot of decks are running the scrap package, which kind of leads to crazier end boards. But this is running the G Golem package, and I think the end board's more consistent. And consistency matters a lot, especially when you're playing against so much interruption now in the format. And we also are playing the True King package to see if we can snipe our opponent's extra deck to remove the tier limit cards from it. So that's another goal of ours. But for the most part, the end board that you want is you want G Golem, Stubborn Minier in the graveyard. You want Petrodon in the graveyard. You want Sprite Elf on the field, IP Masquerena on the field, Evilsaur, Logia on the field, or a Dweller. And lastly, you want Ultimate Conductor Tyranno on the field. And that gives you a lot of interruption. It gives you some negate power, and it also gives you some pops. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the combo in this next part in a combo guide, little combo guide, little basic combo guide. And then we're going to get into some games, and you guys are going to see how the deck performs. So let's get to it. Hello, guys. This is the beginning of the combo. I'm just going to show you. This is like kind of an ordinary hand. I know we have a one of here, but it's not 100% necessary. We're going to start off with Small World. So we're going to activate Small World, and we are going to get rid of Tyranno. Could get rid of Ghost Bell either way. And the way you would get into a Babysaur here is you'd get rid of Miscellaneousaur. And that lets you grab Baby. So this is a basic combo. It's a 2-card combo, which is kind of annoying. But this is kind of how you do it. You do Miscellaneousaur. You activate Miscellaneousaur's ability. Banish 1 card. Boom. Which lets you play this. And then this is going to activate, which allows you to pop that from your hand. And it lets you get your double evolution pill, which is going to be very useful later on. Now, since we have the Dragonic diagram, we could actually just special summon another baby. Because we play the diagram, activate diagram, pop baby, and then grab our True King. And then Baby's effect activates, which will grab that soul-eating Oviraptor. So we are going to play that. Do not play this card here. Play it anywhere but the middle. So we're going to place it here. Activate Oviraptor's effect. That is going to grab Petra. We're going to add Petra to hand. We have not normal summoned yet. So we are going to normal summon. And from here, I'm going to activate I'm going to activate his ability, which you can pop Petra to special summon this. And if you have double baby dinos, just to give you a fair knowledge, if the one that just went to the graveyard is always on the left side. Okay? We're going to summon Giant Rex. And then I'm actually going to do this now. Go into Linkaribo, special summon. Yeah, we could just do this now. We can pop this. Honestly, pop this too. This is 100% fine. So now, if our opponent was playing tier limit, you can, like, let's say you just banish his tier limit cards, because they only run one of each, so it is like a straight counter to it. And then you have to summon another Earth monster from the deck if you do this, by the way. Because otherwise you won't be able to go into G Golem, and you have to go into G Golem. So here's G Golem, Stubborn. And now we're going to go into the Crystal Heart. I'll explain why Oviraptor needs to be not in the middle. Because Oviraptor is, like, very important for this combo to work. So we're going to use this to actually bring back the Giant Rex. Special summon to the field. And now you're going to go into Sprite Elf with these 2 cards. Beautiful. It doesn't really matter which one you grab here. Just grab anything. You're going to be using these to go into IP Masquerena. And since Giant Rex got banished, Giant Rex's effect activates. You need IP Masquerano over here, and I'll show you exactly why. And then we activate, I guess it doesn't really matter the order we do this, but now you can go into Abyss Dweller or Logia. I'm gonna go into Logia because I know I'm playing against a friggin' Subterra guy. So we're gonna go into Logia. We place Logia here, or you can place it here. It doesn't matter. And then double evolution pill. You just banish one of these. Banish the True King. Bam, bam. And here comes Big Daddy. Okay, so this is the ideal board, and I'll explain why. You'll see what our opponent does. He's probably just going to set, pass. So, pretend our opponent was actually trying to do something. We would activate Sprite Elf. We would actually bring back G-Golem, right? G-Golem would summon here. It would activate its effect. We would grab Periodon, right? We could not add it to hand, so we could just add it to our hand. We don't have to play on the field, right? And then we would activate IP Masquerano. So IP Masquerano, we can boom, boom, and we go into Nightmare Griffin. So what is Nightmare Griffin? Well, Nightmare Griffin lets us grab a spell or trap from the graveyard. Not important. We only care about Nightmare Griffin's secondary effect. So Nightmare Griffin, when it's on the field, special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they are linked. If you have this card over here, when you start summoning monsters over here, their effects not going to be able to activate. Whereas here, see how it's linked to Elf? See, Ultimate Tyrannos linked to Elf, and Yugioh is linked to Griffin. And if I use my Periodon, if I activate Ultimate Tyranno, let's say Diagram is activating my let's say I activated Tyranno and just simulate it by using Diagram, right? So don't even mind this in my hand. So Perigram activates. This is my opponent's turn right now, right? I can use this to grab Pancreatops, summon it here, and now I can use Pancreatops. If this card was over here, I would not be able to activate this card. So this is why this is very important. So you get a pop. You get to negate your opponent's special summon monsters, which is very strong. You get a negate. This negate's very important because people are playing evenly matched. But this is also acts like a solemn judgment. So it doesn't just negate the effect. It negates the activation. The summon or activation. Which is also can backfire on you. So if your opponent has... Let's say your opponent has a double pot of extravagant or double pot, I don't know, something that you can only activate once per turn, like triple tactics or something, triple tactics. If you negate one of those triple tactics with it, they will be able to activate the other one because it negates the activation. And yeah, and then when it returns back to you, you're gonna have Ultimate Tyranno. Like it's pretty much he's dead. There's no way he could live this. And that's how you do the combo. I know this was long, but it's kind of need to be done because it is a little convoluted of a deck to do all this. So let's get into some games and you guys can see this in practice. Hello everybody, we're here with game number 1 against Onyx Burst, and this is a... I would say this hand's like pretty okay. If this Fossil Dig did not resolve, then this hand is kind of poo-poo caca. The reasoning for that is because you need at least the Overraptor. Overraptor searches for Babyosaur, and then remember the full combo starts with Miscellaneousaur, really. I mean, you could combo without it, but it's just not going to be your best combo. So Babyosaur, you're going to see activates, pop. And literally, remember, the only reason we really get that card out is to, when we bring it back, we can get Pancreatops, right? So we're going to fast forward since you guys had that full guide. Sprite Elf, boom. Pretty simple. IP. Dude, I have such a bad habit of placing Overraptor in the middle of the field, too. I was surprised I didn't do it this game. So our board's pretty strong, right? Our board's pretty powerful. We pretty much did all the things we got to do. And Doodle Beast Tyranno is kind of a hand trap. Because you can activate it, tribute a monster, and then it's a free pop. It's a quick effect. But you're going to see not everything is rainbows. So our opponent has... This is one Super Poly they play in the deck, by the way. It's the only card that would out our board in their entire deck. And they're playing Tier Limit. This happened to me the entire night me playing, by the way. People drawing their one-ofs, getting the most insane mills. Like, it's crazy. You're going to see in these games. It's absolutely nuts. So, he goes Kikalios. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, we're kind of screwed. I'm activating Tyranno to flip Kikalios face down so he doesn't activate its effect. But he has the one of field spell. Oh, dude. It infuriates me. So yeah, he gets to just do whatever the hell he wants. It's his world. We're just living in it. I could have IP Masqueraded, but using IP to just go into Nightmare and discard my only card to follow up was a horrible decision. So I was not going to do that. Because I can still kind of salvage this board at least if I'm able to go into another Ultimate Conductor. So, this is a mistake in my opinion, but it's not the worst mistake because Diagram's still very good. But I probably should have grabbed just Lost World since my plan was to go into Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. It would have just gave another body on the field. Their stats don't matter because we're going to be flipping them all face down. Oh, another thing too, do not use Tyranno's effect on these cards or you're just going to trigger their effects. So we're just going for the attacks. We're not actually activating the effects. He's at 7,000. Okay. He's going to play Meryl. Mills, insane cards again. I mean, what am I supposed to do about it? Like, if this guy's just hitting, like, the jackpot every time, not much you can do. He grabs Havinus, and then he's going to fusion summon into... Caldeo Heart. I'm actually okay with this though, because I'm going to just activate Tyranno to flip everything down to try and just reset the board. He activates Havinus. Again, really stupid on my opponent's part. And the reason why this is stupid is because I already know I have plays because he milled like Miscellaneous Sword, which lets me do stuff. Right? So we top deck Pinkertops, which is insane. We special summon this. Giant Rex comes out. Giant Rex gets bigger the more cards you have banished. So we're killing this Caldeo. We kill the 2000. You got to make sure you remember where cards are, by the way, if you do stuff like this. Alright, and then we go into Abyss Dweller. I do not activate Dweller because there's no reason for me to. If I try and Dweller so he doesn't reshuffle, I just think it's really silly. So we just Pinkertops and we pop the field spell, which is the problematic card, right? I know Abyss Dweller is apparently the best dinosaur there is. We're not playing the Lost World because that's just stupid. So this is very important. You have to have a gameplay in your head when you play against decks that are just vastly better than yours. Like Onyx Burst is drooling at the screen at his screen right now. He's like, "When's the next thing coming up? Let me hit it. Hit the trigger. Yes, yes, yes." Like that's pretty much what Onyx is right now. Like I'm assuming he's in a vegetative state playing the game, because he's playing Tier Element. While I actually have to think about it. So my plan was he's at 7k. I attack for 17. And then between me discarding this Miscellaneous Sword and the Giant Rex to the graveyard, I could end up banishing them both. So I just activate Abyss Dwell on his turn. And then I get once again on my turn so he can't do anything. And then I go into Access Code Talker because he's perfectly lined up with Access. Right? Yep, he's just straight up aping it. He just, well, I mean, I understand why he's doing it, but still, I just salty. Sets 2, passes. I activate standby phase, Abyss Dweller again. Here comes Miscellaneous Sword. Summons Babysaur. And then we get the Fossil Dig. So, I'm going to tell you right now, I had the game plan. You guys can watch the VOD on Twitch. I said exactly what I was going to do, but then people kept, were saying, oh, you got it. So in my brain, I was like, oh, I'll just go into combat. Screw it. Giant Rex can't attack directly. I already knew this. I don't know why I went into combat. I think it's because my brain has rotted the entire night by playing tier limit every game. That is the reason why I've done it. But I had the game plan. I say it in the VOD. I explained, oh, I just need to go into access code, attack is dead. And for some reason, I just do this. And I could have very well lost this game, even though I'm going to get rid of his entire board. If you just top decked any fucking tier limit card, probably just lose, which is pretty cool to say about an archetype. So if you're wondering why these aren't triggering, it's because that Mist Dweller. And luckily, my opponent does draw a card, but it is nothing, and we win the game. Thank the Lord. Hello, we're here with game number 2 against Dimitri, and let's see if this is going to be a tilting one. What do you guys think we're playing against, by the way? I'll let you guys type down in the comments down below. What do you think I'm playing against? If you guessed it was tier limits, you were correct. Like, literally every game. Every game is tier limit. We are tier limit. So, Babysaur, gonna activate here. So, this is... You guys might be saying, oh, that's not that bad. I want to point out, this guy in his 3 mills, I know he didn't mill a tier limit monster, but he legit was even worse, because he milled both his shufflers, which makes it so I have to fight through 2 shufflers to get my stupid combo off, which you know how hard that is to do? It's not very easy, I can tell you that. So he gets rid of my baby. But I summon another baby. Yeah, so if my opponent did not activate Medora like that, like an idiot, like he played that probably as dumb as you can play that, we'd be in deep trouble. Let me just tell you that. Okay, we send that to the graveyard. We pop. And my opponent, for some reason, does not activate Keldo to the activation of Overraptor. So I get to go into Abyss Dweller. Activate its effect. He's just... I want you guys to understand I'm not an idiot. I do this purposely so he can shuffle my cards back, right? Because I'm going to go into Link Karibo, and then from Link Karibo, I'm going to go into Sprite Elf, and then I'm going to use Elf to bring back this card, and then so I could have Pankratops pop, and then go into Ultimate Tyranno, so my board isn't complete ass. So I can actually still kill my opponent. So that's the reason why we do the things we do, is because our opponent had double shuffler, and it's the only way I can play through it. So here comes Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This is actually going to be very hard for our opponent to beat. And he concedes because he's a crybaby who got the most insane haviness thing. Gosh, tilts me. Hello, we're here with game number 3 against Blade, and Blade is going first. He's activating D-Shifter. So this is actually Exorcisters we're playing against. This round, I activate Maxi in response. He has no answers for it, so that's good for us. It means he stops his turn. So our turn, I don't know if you guys know this, but I use the graveyard a lot, and if everything's getting banished, I literally can't do anything. So I look at this as an opportunity to actually search out a hand trap, because my hand's actually pretty good to play into this. We add Babysaur, so now we have full combo in hand, but we also have Disruption with this and Disruption with this now. So we attack for 18. There's no way we could go for OTK, so don't even think about it. He summons this card. I go into my Doodle, pop it. And he doesn't have Martha or the other cards, so we are good. If If you had Martha, we would be in deep trouble. So now he's just screwed. We pretty much got him. There's nothing more interesting that happens. The only reason I wanted to show this match was just to show you that even getting hit with cards like D-Shifter, there is some outs in some ways of playing this. But I will say, if you get D-Shiftered into D-Fissure, then you're going to be kind of shit out of luck. Because that's going to be very, very hard to beat, and we don't run back row removal, so... Hello, this is the fourth and final video against Sylveon, and, yeah, I just wanted to... Again, we're getting ashed. It's fine. We have Small World, remember. Just remember how you do your bridges. Like, I always have, like, I feel like a lot of people usually ask what's the bridge guide for Small World. You kind of just have to figure it out on your own. Like, it's really not that difficult. So the way Small World works, if you guys aren't familiar with it, is you banish, let's say you banish a Dinosaur in your hand. Let's say you banished Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Since that is Dinosaur, I get to search all the dinosaurs in my deck and all the light monsters in my deck and anyone that has this. And then this is where you pick a bridge. So the bridge for Miscellaneousaur here would just be pick another dinosaur that's not a level 4. Because it could only have one thing that's attached. Because Miscellaneousaur is a fire. So, since Miscellaneousaur is a fire, picking any of the earth dinosaurs, you're fine. So, you could banish like another Babysaur or something like that, and that will search it out. So, that's what I do. I banish the baby, and you got the Miscellaneousaur. Boom. Activate. So I just wanted to show this because just to show we play through hand traps again. Again, my opponent hits sheer... Dude, Havinous. Havinous is just like boning me the entire day. Like, I have to play against... Now I have to play against a Shuffler, and he gets Kikalios, which I don't care that much about the Kikalios. The Shuffler is the thing that's annoying. Because if my opponent's smart, he like... They normally aren't. Like, if you're playing this deck, you're probably an idiot for the most part. Just shuffled. So it really don't get any value off of that. We go into Linkuriboh here. We go into Nightmare Unicorn. So this is like horrendous. This is like not good whatsoever. But this is literally the only play we got. Pretty much shuffle his shit back. Go into Ultimate Tyranno. Go into Giant Rex. So I at least have Giant Rex. So I have something to pop to Ultimate Tyranno. And finally, Konami gives me something. He whiffs. Even though he still hits Snow, he whiffs and he doesn't hit a tier limit card. He has no other extenders. And he realizes that once he activates Fairy Tail Snow, I'm just going to flip everything face down. And he just concedes. So let's get to the recap. We'll talk about the deck and how it performed. But my goodness, dude, it was pretty crazy queuing last night. Hello, my little goblins. Welcome to the recap. Thank you for watching this far, and please hit the subscribe button and hit that little notification button as well so you guys can see all the new videos that we put out. That being said, our Discord is down below. Join that shit because that shit is fire, straight fire. And we host tournaments every week on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and a lot of the details for those tournaments are in the Discord. So join. How did the deck perform? Well, I'm just going to straight up tell you, if we went first, we had like an 80% win rate. If we went second, we had like a 20% win rate. And I'm starting to find that with most of the decks in the meta currently, if you do not go first, you have a very, very high chance of losing. And I think, personally, that it is very toxic for a card game to be like that. Like, I play other card games, and other card games are not like that. A lot of times, it's more like, okay, if you go first, maybe you have like a 55 or 60% chance to win. If you go second, you have like a 45 to 50% chance to win, you know? Like, it's a small difference. And you can even say at professional level, it's even smaller, right? I know that this game is strictly best of one, but this is like insanely coin flippy. It's so crazy because it's like, dude, if you just have a bad night and just lose every single coin flip, it just makes you not want to play the game. And that's what I get playing the game. And I'm someone who likes the game. So, like, imagine you're a new player. You join this game, you're like, I really want to try out this Yu-Gi-Oh game. Or I loved Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. Let me try this out. And you just keep losing every coin flip and you just lose instantly to people. That's going to be pretty tilting. I'm going to tell you that. And those people are probably not going to come back. They're probably going to delete the app. Because I assume they're playing it on their phone. And after deleting the app, they're just going to quit. So, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what they can do to try and stifle that. The best thing I can think of is hit the deck that's so oppressive that it's making it more coin flippy than usual. I would say this format wasn't as coin flippy before tier limit Ishizu got introduced. So I think if there's a way to hit that deck, I think the Ishizu cards are a massive problem because not only do they help the deck not deck out, and on top of not decking out, it also works really well with the field spell, the Shufflers, and the Millers help it just do the full combo. I think that's honestly, I think the Ishizu cards are the big problem here. I don't mind if tier limit stays if those cards go. Like just think about it right now. Like we were playing this deck, right? Those Millers, those Shufflers were the only reason why we would have a tough time against them, because they would Havenish me and they would mill all their Shufflers, and then I would be like screwed. I couldn't combo off really. I think that's a big problem. I really do. That being said, I do think there was some people that said in the comments when I was streaming, they said that the combo with Pentastag, it's like Pent, I think it's like that. Let me just type in Pent. Is a link card. So this card, they're saying that if you run number 61, which is Duras or something like that, and you run this card, you can easily OTK people with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. But like, I'm just thinking about the logistics of that like a lot of the times when I was going second, I had to like I didn't even have the resources to even go into this card. Like, you know what I mean? Like, activate, like, because if you're going second, your opponent has like negate set up, and Miscellaneousaur is obviously great, but it's not going to help you. I'm going to tell you that right now. That card is not going to help you if your opponent negates the Durang, or he negates, because it doesn't protect the dinosaurs, or they stop like the Miscellaneousaur activation for special summoning. Because you can still, I'm pretty sure you can still negate that, right? Dinosaur monsters you control. So it's only the monsters on the field. I could be incorrect about this, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like, if he ashes my Miscellaneousaur, I'm pretty sure I can't, it doesn't work. But I think it has to be on the field for it to work. But, yeah, it has its problems. But let's talk about the power scaling of the deck. A scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to put this at, if you go first, I'm going to say this. If you go first, this deck is an 8. An 8. An 8 is very strong. So I think this deck could possibly be insane. Like, I think this deck could possibly be meta if the tier limit deck was knocked down like a few pegs. Like, if it got knocked down to the point where it wasn't like 90% of the meta, I think this deck could thrive, because the thing is, when I do not play against tier limit, we play against decks that are running all this tier limit hate, and that same tier limit hate, like the banishing, like the D-shifters, dimension fissures, the soul drains, like all those cards, like those cards absolutely bone this deck. So like if those decks start to quietly take out those D fissures and stuff because it's not necessary, and tier limit kind of weakened a bit, I think it would make way for this deck to actually be pretty competitive. But like I said, going first, it did feel pretty strong. It felt very strong. Going second is where I see it being a struggle, because like I said, unless you open the best hand possible, where you Miscellaneousaur, they don't negate it with crime or something, and you have nothing, like, let's say you baited out crime ahead of time, and then you Miscellaneousaur, then summon Ultimate Tyranno, combo, attack, tack, tack. Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad, but for the most part, you're not playing against an opponent that is like a board. You know what I mean? They're going to actually think, and they're actually, hopefully, they don't think, but most of the time they put a little bit of thought into what they're negating and what they're doing. So, yeah. Other than that, on the tier list, I'm going to say this deck is a rogue tier right now. Normally, I would say if this was like a year ago, this deck would have been nuts because Overraptor is at 3. This deck would have been crazy a year ago. But for right now, this deck is going to be a rogue deck. So, is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And I hope you guys have a good one. All right. Goodbye.